Today, we'll be talking about DevSecOps, and we'll focus on the best practices and strategies for integrating security into DevOps at scale.
Before we discuss the best practices, strategies, and realities when rolling out DevSecOps in company, we'll introduce first DevSecOps using a simple analogy, a coffee shop with CCTV cameras.
RJ, that's an image of a cup of coffee, not a coffee shop.
Oh, my bad, Sir Arbs. There you go, Sir Arbs. We now have an image of a coffee shop with a CCTV camera. Just like a software, coffee shop needs to be efficient, customer-friendly, and secure, and that's where DevSecOps comes in. DevSecOps is about integrating development, security, and operations into seamless process. It ensures new features and created quickly, securely, and reliably. Let's dive into how a coffee shop with CCTV cameras can help us understand this better. Imagine the developers are like the interior designers of a coffee shop. They design the layout, where the coffee bars, tables, and chairs go to create a smooth customer experience. But without considering security, blind spot can be overlooked. Security is like installing CCTV cameras. These cameras watch for the theft or suspicious activity, ensuring everything is safe. In DevSecOps, security is built into the process, continuously monitoring all vulnerabilities and threats. Like CCTVs monitoring the shop, operations is like the shop manager ensuring the CCTV system works. The manager makes sure cameras are functioning, recording, and storing footage properly. Similarly, Ops ensures that servers and infrastructure run smoothly with minimal downtime.
You could possibly start with a coffee shop with an empty room and a coffee machine. The room represents the foundational infrastructure where the framework is set for everything that follows. The coffee machine symbolizes the core system or application that will serve the customers, just as the software provides the functionality for users. However, without any furniture, seating, or decoration, the space feels incomplete and uninviting, much like how a system without features lacks value. To create a smooth experience for customers, you need to carefully design the layout, just as developers design software features to ensure usability. Finally, you add security features such as CCTV cameras, as well as a secure payment system to ensure the safety of both customers and the coffee shop, just as DevSecOps integrates security throughout the software lifecycle to protect against threats.
The coffee shop CCTV provides real-time monitoring, just like continuous integration and deployment in DevSecOps. New features or updates can be added without disrupting the system, ensuring security checks are constant and seamless. In DevSecOps, it's like motion detection in CCTV. Instead of constantly watching the footage, the system automatically detects unusual activity and sends alerts. Similarly, automated testing identifies bugs and vulnerabilities before they become serious issues. Monitoring is like reviewing CCTV footage to find patterns, like spotting if a door is repeatedly left open. In DevSecOps, monitoring tools help identify unusual behavior or performance issue, allowing teams to address problems proactively.
As you'll see later, budget and resource constraints often limit the ability to implement advanced security measures or even upgrade tools. In this coffee shop analogy, this would be like not having enough funds to install high-quality CCTV cameras or hire security personnel to monitor them. Despite the desire to improve security, financial limitations may force the shop to simply rely on basic surveillance. Similarly, in DevSecOps, teams may need to prioritize which security tools to use and sometimes must make compromises based on the available resources. However, even with limited resources, the goal remains to ensure the core system functions securely and reliably.
In a well-run coffee shop, baristas, CCTV cameras, and managers work together to provide great service. Similarly, DevSecOps ensures developers, security, and operations collaborate to deliver secure, high-quality software without disrupting the user experience.
RJ, I have a question for you. Where does a pipeline come into play?
Good question, Sir Arps. In DevSecOps, the pipeline automates the entire process of building, testing, securing, and deploying code. It's like a conveyor belt that ensures every step is completed efficiently while maintaining quality and security. The first stage is continuous integration. When developers push new code, the pipeline automatically builds it and run tests to catch bugs early. This ensures the code integrates smoothly without introducing errors. For example, imagine each code change is like a puzzle piece. CI ensures the pieces fit together perfectly by testing them frequently. Next is continuous delivery or deployment. After testing, the pipeline packages the application and either prepares it for manual release or deploys it automatically. Security is included as part of the pipeline. Automated tools scan for vulnerabilities, check for insecure dependencies, and ensure compliance with policies. Finally, operations monitoring ensures the deployed application is healthy. The pipeline deploys monitoring tools that track performance, log errors, and send alerts if something goes wrong. The pipeline is critical because it automates repetitive tasks, ensures consistency, speeds up releases, and integrates security throughout the process. It allows team to innovate quickly without compromising quality or security. Sir Arbs, I have also a question for you. What are some realities that teams have to face when starting out with DevSecOps?
Good question, RJ. We'll discuss that in the next section. Okay, so here in the screen, we can see three. So number one, cultural shift takes time. We want to handle the resistance to change. Second would be speed versus security, where we have to balance speed and security. And third would be integration challenges, which involves tool overload, as well as the inability of development teams to integrate with the needed tools. So for number one, the reality is that ops requires a mindset change where development, security, and operations collaborate continuously. So the challenge is that breaking down traditional silos between teams can be difficult. Developers may view security as a blocker, and security teams might be used to working independently. So what's the solution? The solution is to encourage cross-team communication and provide training to foster a shared responsibility for security. Again, the reality is that not everyone will be on board with the changes Dev introduces. The challenge is that teams may resist changes due to fear of increased workload, new processes, or even tool fatigue. So the solution is to focus on small wins and celebrate early successes to demonstrate the value of DevSecOps. And of course, involve key stakeholders early to build buy-in. So how about the second one? Balancing speed and security. So the reality is that teams must integrate security without slowing down the delivery process. The challenge is that there's often a perception that security slows down development. Early stages can feel slower as security processes are embedded into workflows. The solution, of course, is to implement lightweight, automated security checks that run in the background and focus on fast feedback. And the third one would, of course, be the integration challenges. So the reality is that DevSecOps involves multiple tools for CI/CD, security scanning, monitoring, and more. So the challenge here is that teams may struggle with integrating various tools, especially if they have existing legacy systems or even fragmented tool sets. The solution is to start small by integrating a few key tools and focus on automating critical security checks first. There's three more. So for items 4, 5, and 6, number 4 would be developers with a lack of expertise in security. Number 5 would be how do we tackle legacy systems. And number 6, budget and resource constraints. So let's start with number 4, lack of expertise in security. So the reality is that developers are not always trained in security. And security teams, on the other hand, may not be fully understand development workflows. The challenge is that teams may lack the necessary skills to implement secure coding practices or even automate security processes. So what's the solution? The solution is to provide training on secure coding and DevSecOps best practices. It's important to consider bringing in security champions within the development team. Let's go straight to number 5, managing legacy systems. The reality is that many organizations have legacy systems that don't easily fit into modern DevSecOps pipelines. The challenge is that legacy systems may lack APIs or automated testing frameworks, making it hard to incorporate them into automated workflows. What's the solution? The solution is to gradually modernize legacy systems by introducing APIs or wrapping them with automation where possible. Then finally at number 6, what's the reality here? The reality is that implementing DevSecOps can require new tools, training, and possibly additional staffing. The challenge is teams may face budget limitations or resource constraints that slow adoption. So what's the solution? Start with open source tools and then gradually scale up. Demonstrate cost savings from reduced vulnerabilities and faster releases to justify further investment. So now, imagine a coffee shop without CCTV cameras. Do you think your coffee business would last more than 5 years?
It's challenging, sir. The coffee shop can still run, but without CCTV cameras, the shop would be vulnerable to theft, vandalism, and other security risks. Customers and staff would feel unsafe, and without a way to monitor or review incidents, it would be difficult to address problems effectively. Just like in a coffee shop, in software development, without property security measures like continuous monitoring and automated tests, your system could be at risk of vulnerabilities or cyber attacks. In DevSecOps, we integrate security right from the start to prevent such threats and ensure that the business, or in this case, the software remains secure and functional in the long run.
That's pretty much it. Hope you learned something new. Bye-bye. Thank you.